Welcome everybody. I'm glad to have with me today Walker Glass. And Walker, you go to West Orange High School. You've had something really big happen in your life recently, hadn't you?
Yes, sir.
A few good things. Tell us about it.
So one thing I did, I laid the wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier, and it was just a really honorable moment to do. And it doesn't really show to people like how much that it like is an impactful thing, and how much of an honor it is to do that.
Yeah, it is really. When I heard about it, I thought it was just amazing. I don't know of anybody else from Dublin. Maybe they have been, but I don't know of anybody else from Dublin that has been able to do this. A lot of people don't know the history, but Congress actually enacted in 1921. We have one soldier from World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. And we used to have one from Vietnam, and with DNA testing, they did test on it and figured out who the guy was. So obviously, it wasn't an unknown soldier anymore. But tell me about how you went about applying and just the process.
So in the start of SOU 201, they sent out this letter, and at the bottom of the letter, there was this section that they only did this for the 250th anniversary for SOU, or for the America.
Right.
And the SOU sent it out, and it was over just a monumental impact of America. And you just could either write an essay or send in a video. I did both. And so mine was over the Lincoln Memorial, and it was just saying how an impactful memorial it is to really explain all the things he did and just the impact that that huge statue has and everything about him.
Okay, we want to show the video, but tell us a little bit about what we're about to look at.
So in the video, you start off and there's two people in front and two people in back, kind of forming a square. And so the guard walks up the stairs looking all serious, but then the funny thing was he just gets up there and then breaks character, and he was just like, "What's up, guys? How's it going?" And I couldn't help but laugh right there, because I just expected him to just be one of those strict ones and just start yelling. Yeah, real serious. And so then he explains all. He asks if we have any questions, and right whenever we say no, he goes straight back into being serious. There's a little quick thing where he clicks his feet around and turns around and puts us down by his side, and we walk with him down the stairs. And then the two people in front, which was me and another girl, walk up and put our hands on the wreath, and we lay the wreath. And then we turn around, walk back. And by the time we get back and we turn around again, the trumpet starts playing, and it's the Pledge of Allegiance on the trumpet. And it's just like, it's so quiet. Nobody's allowed to talk. Nobody's allowed to sit down. And you're just looking into the field and at the tomb, and it's just a really impactful thing.
Yeah, it's got to be. Let's take a look at the video right now.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good. My name is Gabe. I'll be doing this ceremony with you today. You guys have any questions regarding the ceremony? All right. Received a briefing downstairs. Excellent. Very shortly here, I'm going to step to this stair right here. When I step to that stair, I'm going to say, "Please join my side." When I say that, I'm then going to say, "Ready, step." When I say "ready, step," walk down the stairs in this formation together. And once we get down to the black mat, we'll conduct the ceremony from there. No last minute questions? Awesome. All right, guys, good luck. Join my side.
attention, please. The ceremony that you are about to witness is an Honoree wreath laying ceremony to be conducted in honor of the unknowns. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform will render the hand salute, and it is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart upon the command of present arms. Thank you. Ready? Stop. Hey, done. Oh! Order! Oh! Ready? Stop. Step to the black mat and turn around. Nice job, guys. On behalf of the Tomb Guard Platoon, the nation's capital, I'd like to thank you for honoring unknowns today. We must never forget the ultimate sacrifice of the warriors of our country, from past to present, and their courage. So thank you for honoring these sacred grounds today. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are dismissed.
Okay, it was about 5 minutes, the video.
Yes,
Right
sir.
About 5 minutes. I would think, and I know you're talking about the soldier kind of breaking and cutting up. That's probably just to relax y'all. You had to be nervous first.
Yes,
of
sir.
all.
Yeah, everybody was all tense, and then he kind of breaks it up by just cutting up with us a little bit.
And then right back in character.
Right back.
For lack of a better word, they're serious about it. I know civilians cannot do that particular job. You've got to be a member of the military, the Coast Guard, or one of the branches. But and they, how long were you there?
I was there for around an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Now they change the guards, I understand, every 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And you got to see, so if you were there an hour, you got to see the changing of the guards and explain, you know, I see like the British guys, the way they change guard and all. What do you see when they change the guard? How does that work?
So when they change the guard, and even whenever they get a new guard too, one guard will come out and they'll march out, and then whenever they get a new guard, the guard will come in and a guard will come out and inspect their weapons. And it's just it looks like it's a whole show, just because they're like doing these flips and turns with the guns to inspect the weapons. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, and I would think I'd be standing there in awe, first of all, because I just, anytime, like visiting the VA, when you walk those halls, you see the true heroes, the ones that, the reason we enjoy the very freedoms we do. We can sit here and talk on television without any fear of reprisal. Nobody's going to bust in and tell us we can't broadcast, or go to church Sunday or not go to church Sunday. You know, we have those freedoms because these people fought for us, and a lot of them died for us.
Yes,
gave
sir.
the ultimate sacrifice. So I would think you'd feel the same way. You'd have to be in awe as you stood, even though he did cut up for that moment to relax y'all. I feel like he probably does it with each group that comes up, but it's a very serious thing, because it's got to be, you know, these soldiers that they're unknown. We do not know who they were. They gave their life for our country, for us.
Yes, sir.
And we don't know who they are. So it is a humble, just a very serious moment, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Very.
So let's take a commercial break, and we'll come back right after this.
At Bank of Dudley, we're your community, your bank. And with 7 branches to serve you, there's a Bank of Dudley close by. And there's a familiar face close by. The same familiar faces that you've seen for many years. The same people that you've grown to trust. Because that's what community banking is all about. 7 branches, local people, local decisions, local banking. That's the Bank of Dudley, serving our community since 1905.
When the job changes, the Kubota RTVX changes with it. Built for the work and built around you. Load the bed, hit the trail, and take on what's next with confidence. Gear up, load, haul, repeat. The Kubota RTVX. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 2.99% APR up to 36 months.
Mid-State Tractor and Equipment is now located at 492 Fire Tower Road in Dublin.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm talking with Walker Glass. If you just joined us, we're going to air this program again. You can go to our social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of those platforms. You can watch it again. We'll air the show again. But so you just went recently, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Junior in high school. Go to West Lawrence High School. So when you told your friends what you were going to do, what was their reaction?
I feel like with our generation, it's not really like a meaningful thing. You don't really understand unless you're there and see how serious the guards are and you hear the full backstory. I feel like that's one thing that people don't really understand.
I agree with you. As I mentioned a while ago, enjoying the freedoms we do, I just don't think younger people realize why we get to do what we can do. And there's a lot of countries at 10 o'clock at night, you want a hamburger, you can run to McDonald's or somewhere and get a hamburger. There's a lot of places around the world you can't do that. And you can't worship. They worship underground. They have to hide to worship God. So what can we do about that? You know, as a young man in the 11th grade, how would you suggest, a lot of teachers are watching now, a lot of administrators, how can we get that across to young people?
So one thing that they taught us at SOU, they teach us, is to be a leader underneath the feet of Jesus. So one thing that we can do is just spread the word and become a leader and just talk to the younger generation, explain, bring in guest speakers. That's one thing that they did at 201. they brought in a bunch of guest speakers, and one of them was a person who escaped from Iraq. And he was just explaining about the underground temples and everything. And it was just like every single story that every person had was just really meaningful.
What kind of impact that have on you, hearing a guy from Iraq, knowing what he had been through, and he shared a lot of it with you? What kind of impact that have on you?
It just really was like shocking how bad they have it over there. And then even whenever he came over here and he was living in Texas. And then he went to school and he kind of wasn't really talking. He was still wearing his traditional Muslim outfits and everything. So he kind of was like looked upon differently. Mm-hmm. And his parents still practice Muslim, or still, yeah. His parents still practiced. And whenever he, like, one day, I think it was high school, he like changed his whole outfit. And one of his friends started inviting him to church. And then he became more Christian. And what actually happened was the people in that church that he went to, the only reason his dad said yes was because the people in that church helped out the guy's shop because they were running low on staff and they didn't have that many people. So the people at the church, they take their lunch break and always go to that guy's shop and help him clean up, serve tables for him, do it all for free. It was just like awesome to hear about it.
That's, I just said this yesterday as I was listening to you. I told somebody yesterday, we may be the only church that people see. They may not go to church, so we are the church. And you see what happened. They were the church. They were the hands and feet of Christ, going in there and helping, just loving like Christ loved. And for that to be the end result, because that don't go over good in the Muslim community when you convert to Christianity.
No, sir.
You know that, I know that. You've lived long enough to realize that. So when you started telling that story, I was sitting there thinking, oh boy, this ain't gonna end well, because those parents they're not gonna go for that. And for you to end the story that way is just absolutely incredible. We can all learn from that. Do you think the impact it had on your life, will you ever forget it? Will you get down the road 20, 30 years from now? Do you think you'll ever forget this experience?
No, sir. This was just such a meaningful experience, and there's more to come. There's 301 and 401. 301's in Europe, and 401's in Greece now. It was in Israel, but now it's in Greece.
Explain that a little more.
So 301, you go to Paris, and you're going around looking at all the monuments and all the like Bible museums. And now 401, my sister went to all of them. She went to 101, 201, 301, and 401. And she actually got to go to Israel and for 401, and she got baptized in the Jordan River and got to do all that. But now they're doing it in Greece, and we're getting to walk down the path. You're going to have to fill me in on that one. I'm not sure who it was, but we're walking down the path of somebody. I'm not really that educated. But it's just like I'm very excited to go, and there's a lot more to come.
And when will that be?
So it happens every year. So, but now 201 and 301 and 401, they all only have one session, unlike 101 where it's in Orlando, Florida, Texas. Now they have it in Egypt too. Mm-hmm. And so now there's only one session. There's a limited amount of spots. So you got to sign up quick for it.
So, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier actually came from France and one other country. I can't say it all of a sudden. But France and one other country is really where we got the idea from. And then in the early 20s, we began doing the same thing. What does it look like? I see the pictures online, and as we've been talking, you've seen some of the pictures of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Looks like granite maybe, but I say this every time I go somewhere like Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls. all the video and pictures I saw didn't do it justice. I always say the same thing, because when you see it and you're standing there watching, let's say Niagara Falls, it's like, oh my gosh, how do you say there's no God? Because no man made that, I can tell you that. Or the Grand Canyon or places like that, the seven wonders of the world. I guess they've named more now, but it's just, when you look at it, that first time you looked at that tomb, what was your reaction?
It was a lot bigger than I expected. And then the background was beautiful. Just the lines in the grass and the background with the planes flying into the national airport, and it was just beautiful.
Well, the backdrop is, well, you're in Arlington, but the backdrop is Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir.
And it's got to be perfectly manicured.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is just, I'd be at home there because I'm very OCD about stuff, yards and things like that. So, and I know you worked doing some landscape this summer, so you probably the same way. So,
Yes, sir.
but that had to be just beautiful. But what about the actual tomb? Is it made out of granite? Am I right there? Or is it made out of something else?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure. It looks like a granite, maybe
Right.
marble, something like that.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying it's bigger than you realized?
Yes, sir. The pictures don't play it out how it should be. Like, it looks so much better in person.
Yeah. And like I said, you're looking at some of these pictures. You know, I looked at them online, and same thing you're looking at now. But I can only imagine standing there in front of it, not only the way it looks and it's manicured and the backdrop of DC, but just knowing you're standing where these soldiers that actually paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and they're there. Their remains are there. It's just got to be an incredible feeling, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, I got some other things I want to talk to Walker about. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll come back after this.
At Houston Clinic, we base our award-winning patient care on a platform of specially trained physicians like Dr. Gay and Dr. Richter, and specialized healthcare professionals who work together on one common goal: our patients. Our integrated system of research, education, and treatment is patient-focused, making all the difference in providing quality care. If you're experiencing pain from arthritis, bone spurs, bursitis, fractures, joint pain, ligament or tendon injuries, overusage injuries, sprained strains, or osteoporosis, the Houston Clinic is only a phone call away. Call us today and we'll get you on the road to a better tomorrow. The Houston Clinic, 100 Medical Drive, Suite 400 in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Greg at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki, and if you're looking to ride street or dirt, we've got what you need. We're running a great sale in July. We're looking to cut prices on many products, so come see us. We will save you money here at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki at 106 Savannah Avenue, East Dublin, Georgia.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to kind of wrap things up, but I want to talk about you are a part of the advisory board for the state school superintendent.
Yes, sir.
There was 1,235 people applied, only 79 got accepted, and there again, you got to lay the reef, and that was a very small number based on, they're telling how many applicants they had. So you come out 79 out of 1,235. Tell me about that process, how you went about it, and what it means to be on the advisory board.
So one thing that I didn't expect was the service projects that they'd have you do and then present at the end. So my service project was giving to the nursing homes. So I got all my clubs, including Beta Club, the Anchor Club, all the clubs like at my school that need service hours for the people to be in them. Mm-hmm. I got them and to see if they could get people to donate supplies for the nursing homes. And so I brought it to the nursing homes. I can send you a couple pictures of it.
Good.
I brought it to the nursing homes and I gave it out to them. And it was just so it was crazy to just see the smiles on their faces whenever I just brought it into them. And even just the groups of people in the room, how funny they were joking with me.
It's great.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of those people at the nursing home, nobody ever visits them. So just having that visit, and we do Santa for a senior every year with Home Instead, and we take, you know, just blankets and socks and lotions, just simple things, and just the joy. We do it to bless them. We in turn get a blessing out of it, just like you did doing that. But it's just so much fun to see the looks on their faces, knowing that. And I would think especially young kids, because, you know, these are older people and they're not too old. They don't remember when they were young. But for y'all to care enough to go by there, it had to be, we've used the word impactful a few times, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
It had to be, that's the perfect word for that. But they had to love it, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. And one thing that was crazy to me was there was over 200 handwritten cards written by kids at our school.
How did you get all those kids to get involved?
It was just reaching out to the teachers, the leaders of the Beta Club and leaders of Anchor Club and National Honor Society, and getting them to, I made a flyer on things that they could donate and the due date and go picture on there and just what it's for. And it just, people just started donating.
That says a lot about, in our schools, we just got great administrators, great teachers, but it says a lot about the kids. You know, I've heard it about every generation. My generation 60 years ago, oh, these kids now, boy, we in trouble. They say it now. They've always said it, but I believe hope springs eternal. And I believe there's so many more good young people than bad. You only read the paper about bad things. You don't read about the good things like we're talking about now. And that's why I wanted to have you in. But so you did that, and you got selected, one of the 79, and then what happens, being on the advisory board?
So you go, like, I'd want to say like once a month you'll go, and you'll drive up to Atlanta. Since I was a long ways away, we stayed the night in a hotel, fully covered by the state. And you go and you'd have a meeting with all of the people from all different counties representing their schools. And it'd just be a meeting with the state superintendent. He'd talk and other people would talk, and they'll just ask questions on how they can make an impact in the school and things that they could change, what's things that they could add to their curriculums, just on a student's point of view.
So basically, you're an ambassador representing West Lawrence High School.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last thing, where did you get your zeal for service at?
What do you mean?
You know, who really? I know your dad very well, but was it grandparents or parents? You seem to love to do service work, going to Arlington or the nursing homes. You know, where did you get that from?
Really, it's just my mom just striving me to be better and push myself to my limits. She's helped me along the way so much, and I'm so grateful for her.
Good. Well, you come from a good family. You got a brother and a sister.
Yes, sir.
And go ahead, before we go, let everybody know who your parents are.
My parents are Albert and Janice Glass.
Okay, good people. That says a lot. Mom's pushed you and pushed you. Same with your brother and sister. And you're a junior this year, and when you graduate, you told me off camera what you wanted to do, but share with our viewers what you want to do after you graduate.
So I want to be a nurse anesthetist.
Okay. I may
Sir.
look up one day, and there you are standing over me, all these baby boomers. So you'll have a job, I'll assure you that. There'll be plenty of work. So,
Yes, sir.
well, we're proud of you, Walker. I just, I know you got a lot going on. School's about to start. You got to go tomorrow, and I guess open house tomorrow. You got to make sure all your classes are done, and so you looking forward to a good year?
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Good. I know you are. We talked about it a while ago. So thank you for coming in today.
Yes, sir. Of course. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us today.